David, does this have echoes of when Margaret Thatcher was forced out by her cabinet? Is it all about ego?
I think a lot of it is, actually, and I've seen an awful lot of really bad takes about Boris. Probably the worst of all was Alistair Campbell, but then again, he's had a kind of career of bad takes from Iraq onwards to Remain and everything else. I mean, we've got to remember this is a Prime Minister of some significant achievements, not the worst Prime Minister in British history by far. He got Brexit done against all the odds. He has really rallied the international community in support of Ukraine. Without him, it probably wouldn't have happened. And of course, he got us through the pandemic. Made some mistakes, but we came through it better than most, and with a quicker vaccine and all the rest of it. So, there's clearly for quite some time been a lot of ambitious people, not least Mr. Sunak and others. It was a very glossy video. It looked as though it had been prepared a bit longer than a week, I have to say, the one that's just been launched. But he's a strong candidate, so let's see.
Well, I mean, you pointed out the glossy video. I mean, that doesn't take a day to put together, and he literally, it was what was it, only yesterday that he walked out, or was it the day before? If somebody had said this to you that in 6 months Boris would be gone, would you have believed it?
I think I would 6 months ago. It was because things were hairy. I remember coming on your show, actually, after Steve Baker had spoken in Parliament. I'd written about it. And it's been touch and go. And it's really, sometimes when the skids are on a political career, it's pretty much impossible for the politician to stop it. However well they've done on the big issues and things. I mean, that was true of Margaret Thatcher. The only one who really understood it, though, was David Cameron, who jumped immediately. I think all the rest have desperately tried to cling on. Maybe Boris has just had his time. I mean, he'd certainly lost the ability to hold his party together, which meant he had to go. And any attempt to keep him in this week it would have been ridiculous, actually. So the question I think that the Conservatives now need to ask themselves is, do they really have anybody better? They've got some good candidates, some interesting candidates. I mean, Penny Mordaunt's just been mentioned there. Rishi is actually a good candidate. Nadeem Zahawi has blotted his copybook with some of his shenanigans over the last few days, but he's actually a good candidate. I quite like Suella Braverman as well, a surprise early runner in it. So, but are any of them going to have the charisma of Boris? Are any of them going to have his vision?
Well, Jeremy Hunt may well put himself forward, but I don't know how well that's going to go. Do you think then that Boris should hang on in this little moment? Because a lot of people are saying that he should go immediately. So John Major wrote that letter asking him to go now instead of seeing it through the sort of summer recess.
Well, when we're talking about worst prime ministers, certainly in my lifetime, I think John Major ranks very highly on there. I mean, there was somebody who should have gone years before he did, frankly, and it's astonishing that he stayed on as long as he did. He certainly almost destroyed the Conservative Party in the process. I think you need a bridge. The Conservative Party clearly need to get a new leader, and that new leader will become Prime Minister. And, what difference is it going to make? We've got a few weeks over the summer where they select this person, and Boris stays in and holds the ship steady. And that's what normally happens. Cameron did the same. Theresa May did the same. It's a normal process.
Yeah. So finally, I did ask you at the beginning. So in your view, this is all about ego, really?
A lot of it is about ego and ambition. A lot of it is simply because people don't like Boris for different reasons. And to a certain degree, there were a large number of Remainers, but of course, a lot of Brexiteers joined them in that as well. I think about people like Andrew Bridgen and so forth. So, Boris's problem in the end was he is a big personality, but it was a big personality that was unable to command loyalty, and he had to go. Once you lose that, you have to go.
Well, David, thank you so much for your thoughts. That's David Maddox. He's the political editor for The Express Online.